Hi there YouTube, it's Makiko1 here with a ninja deck. This is a Mist Valley version. I will be making the White Dragon Ninja lock, but I'm just waiting on a second White Dragon Ninja to come in the post. So that'll be probably next week sometime, maybe. So stay tuned for that. Let's get right into it. Play triple, Ninja Grandmaster Hanzo, the card that pretty much single-handedly makes ninjas worth playing. Searches out pretty much anything you want. Play his first turn, you go into Dark Simorg and your opponent can't do anything really unless they have the MST. Then I play double Golden Upstart, dump a dead trap, summon a ninja, search if you summon Hanzo, bounce stuff if you summon the Bisu. And play one Master Ninja Bisu. I play him because he ties in with Upstart Golden quite nicely. If you summon him off of Upstart, you can bounce 2 of your opponent's back row. It has to be exactly 2. And then go into a Blade Armor Ninja play, and your opponent is less likely to stop you. And you just go for the 4/4, which is always nice. I play 2, Don't Exhalate Birdman. Pretty much a free beater in this deck. If you bounce something back to your hand to summon him, if you have the field spell out, then you get a free summon from your deck, which ties in nicely for Synchro and Xyz plays, or if you need to tribute for Apex in your hand. Then I play double Dark Simorg. I played 2 where most builds play 1, simply because I do play quite a few Darks and quite a few Winds. There's also Maestroke, which you can go into if you desperately need a Dark for it, so it's just really easy to summon. Then going into the Mist Valleys, double Apex Avian. This card just stops absolutely everything. Really any card effect, just bounce a Mist Valley card, and it's a card not monster, so you can bounce a field spell as well, and just destroy it as many times as you want. I play 2 Thunderbird. I bumped it up to 2 from my last build, just because you really do want to get it, and if it dies, you don't really have that many options to bring it back. What this does is provide infinite ammo for this, so you can just keep negating stuff, just negate everything. It is quite weak, so they probably will kill it eventually. You don't need to activate an effect normal summon something to get over this, but it's definitely worthwhile running. I play triple Mist Valley Falcon. Gets over Thunder King, which is something which hurts this deck a fair bit, and gets over pretty much anything level 4 or lower. Also ties in really nicely there with a couple of other cards in this deck, which I'll go into when I get to them. And that's it for the monsters. I'm choosing not to run Veiler because if you manage to get the Avian lockout, you really don't need it. For spells, I play 1 Reborn, 1 Dark Hole, no Storm because you run so many continuous things in a field spell that it'll hurt you often a lot more than it'll hurt them. 1 Mind Control, 1 Rotor, triple Duality, just so you definitely get to that first turn Hanzo, because you do really need it. I play triple Divine Wind. This is the key to the deck, basically. For those of you who don't know what this does, basically once per turn, if a wind monster you control is returned to your hand, that's as a cast, as part of an effect, anything, you can special summon one level 4 or lower wind monster from your deck. It doesn't have to be Mist Valley, which is why I put an Abisu in here, because you can get it with this. And that's it for the spells. And for traps, I run 2 Compulse. Great for just destroying his inmate. Well, not destroying his inmates, that's kind of the point of this card. But just bouncing everything. You can also bounce your own monsters to get something else out with Divine Wind. And if you bounce a little bird back, you can just summon it back, and you just basically turn this into a free summon from deck. I play double Call Haunted to bring back a fallen avian or Simorgh. And if you want to, you can always, if they banish it or something, or return it to your hand, you can bounce this with Falcon and then reuse it. And triple Slave Zone to make your avian lock even more potent. And you can also turn this into an offensive card by equipping it to an opponent's monster, declaring an attack with Falcon, bouncing this card and destroying their monster. And then a replay happens, but it's pretty much free destruction, because this will go back to hand and you can just reuse it. And then tying with the ninjas, a triple transformation, and then the Solemn Brigade to round off the deck. It is 40 cards, and the triple dualities make it fairly consistent. I won't lie, it can be prone to bad hands because you do run some high tribute monsters, but it kind of tends to iron itself out. For the extra deck, I play 1 number 17 and 1 Levier. For the Birdman and Thunderbird plays, you can exceed with it. Levier, because you'd be bouncing stuff with, not bouncing, banishing stuff from the grave with Simorgh. Just get back your Hanzo and Search and stuff like that. It's very cool. Double Blade Armor, because if you're going to be exceeding, it's probably going to be off of an upside golden play. 1 Gemnite Pearl, 1 Papal Operative, 1 Maestro, 1 Utopia, 1 Utopia Ray, because you run Utopia and Mind Control. Catasta, Brionac, Black Rose, Colossal Fighter. This is pretty much just in here to punch BLS in the face, because one thing this deck does struggle a bit against is high beaters. The stuff like anything that can spam out BLS and anything over 2/7, because that's your boss monster's attack. Both Simorgh and Apex Avian, actually, now I think about it. Something like Chaos Dragons, you need this for a bit of muscle. And Stardust, and finally Scrap Dragon. No real reason to run Mistworm in here, because you very rarely make a 9. It's kind of an awkward one to make. Yeah, some side deck cards you can use in this deck. I've not made a specific side deck for this because I kind of like to make them on the fly. King Tiger Wanhu. You can get this out with Transformation, and it's just an all-round very good card against against decks which run low attack cards. DD Warrior Lady, should be fairly obvious. You run Rota, level 4 Warrior, Banshees, 2 Crow. This is also useful for not only removing your opponent's stuff, but also loading up the grave with Darks for Simorgh. And then, because you don't run them in the main deck, Spell Hate. especially the MSCs, you always side in triple MSD because they're probably going to side in decrees or something against you. And you need to hate on the hate, basically. And that's all I have to say about Miss Valley Ninjas. I'll be uploading an Obelisk deck profile sometime later on this week, and White Dragon Ninja deck probably late next week, so I'm not entirely sure when I'm actually going to receive it.